They're your children. But they're adults now. You've loved them, raised them, sacrificed for them. But lately, something feels off. Maybe they talk over you, dismiss your feelings, or expect you to drop everything to babysit or lend money without asking. You want to help and show care, but sometimes you end up feeling used, unheard, or invisible. And yet the thought of setting boundaries brings guilt. What if they pull away? What if they get upset? What if saying no means losing the closeness you cherish? If this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many loving parents reach a moment when giving too much begins to hurt. Stick with me. We'll explore how to set boundaries that are firm, kind, and rooted in love. Limits that protect your peace and strengthen your relationship. When most people hear the word boundary, they imagine building a wall, something cold, distant, or unloving. But true boundaries are nothing like that. They're gentle fences. They don't keep people out. They guide others to meet you with respect while keeping love flowing both ways. Setting a limit doesn't mean you love your child less. It means you show care clearly. For example, saying no to a last-minute favor shows what you can offer with joy and what drains you. Limits aren't punishment. They're clarity. They're a map to healthier, honest connections. You can love your children deeply and still say no. In fact, sometimes the most caring word a parent can speak is a calm, confident no. It's how you protect your peace and build a relationship rooted in mutual respect. If boundaries are so healthy, why do they feel so hard, especially with your own children? For many parents, the struggle begins with guilt. We've spent a lifetime giving. From the moment they were born, their needs came first. Saying no now feels unnatural, almost selfish. But remember, boundaries aren't about withholding love. They're about making love sustainable. Then there's fear. You might worry, if I say no, will they pull away? Will they stop inviting me to family dinners? That fear runs deep, especially if you've already experienced loss or distance. But avoiding boundaries out of fear often leads to resentment. And resentment is what truly builds walls between people. Sometimes it's simply habit. We've been the fixer, the helper, the one who always says yes. But this new season deserves peace, not pressure. Here's the truth. Love without limits turns into exhaustion. Boundaries bring balance. When you set a boundary, you're not rejecting your child. You're inviting them into a healthier, more honest relationship, one built on mutual respect, not silent sacrifice. How can you tell it's time to set a boundary? Often, the signs show up quietly, through stress, frustration, or a deep feeling that something isn't right. One sign is that your phone only rings when they need something: money, errands, help with the kids. And when the favor's done, the conversation ends. You're left feeling more like a resource than a parent. Another sign to watch for: they assume you're always available, dropping by unannounced, expecting you to adjust your schedule without asking. You feel torn between wanting to help and wishing they'd simply ask first. You might also notice the tone. They speak dismissively, interrupt, or act as though your opinions don't matter. You leave conversations tense, hurt, or questioning yourself. And perhaps the most telling sign: you say yes when you mean no. You agree out of guilt, then spend the rest of the day feeling drained. These moments aren't failures, they're signals it's time for change. They're your heart saying something needs to change. Boundaries aren't built from anger, they're born from the clear understanding that you deserve respect, peace, and choice. Now that you know it's time for a boundary, the next step is how to express it. Kindly, clearly, and confidently. Because boundaries aren't about confrontation, they're about communication. Start with this mindset. You're not demanding, you're informing. You're calmly explaining how you wish to be treated. Here's how you can do it. 1. Use I statements. Avoid blame. Speak from your truth. Instead of, "You never respect my time," say, "I feel stressed when plans change last minute. I'd appreciate scheduling things ahead too." Speak calmly. Anger sounds like rejection, but a steady tone feels like truth. Take a deep breath before speaking. Remember, this isn't a fight, it's a conversation. 3. Offer clarity, not confusion. The clearer your message, the easier it is to honor. Practice your words beforehand. Try them in a mirror or with a friend for confidence. Here are a few gentle scripts you can try when they overstep your time. I love helping you, but I also need time for myself. Can we plan visits ahead of time? When conversations turn disrespectful, I value our relationship too much to argue. Let's pause and talk again when we're calm, when expectations feel too heavy. I want to support you, but I can't do everything. Let's find a balance that works for both of us. Boundaries spoken with care don't build distance. They build understanding. You're not closing the door, you're opening it, just with kindness and clarity. Here's the reality. Not everyone will welcome your new boundaries with open arms, especially if they're used to hearing yes. When you start saying no, you might hear you've changed, or you used to do this for me before. They might say, why can't you babysit like you always do? Or sulk, argue, or even try guilt. That's okay. It's a natural reaction to change. What matters, don't mistake their discomfort for your wrongdoing. You're not being selfish, you're being honest. And honesty is the foundation of real respect. If they push back, try these calm responses. I understand this feels new. I'm learning to take better care of myself. I love you, and this boundary helps me stay close without feeling overwhelmed. I'm not rejecting you. I'm just being clear about what I can give. Remember, boundaries are like new habits. They take time to stick. Stay gentle, stay firm, and don't apologize for honoring your needs. Over time, people adjust. The ones who love you will come to appreciate the clarity. With time, this clarity builds stronger, more respectful bonds, and you'll feel lighter, freer, and more at peace, knowing you're loving yourself too. Setting boundaries isn't about pulling away from your children. It's about drawing closer with honesty, respect, and love. When you express your needs clearly, you teach others how to love you well. And in doing so, you also show them how to honor their own limits. That's how healthy families grow, through mutual respect, not quiet frustration. You've given love your whole life. Now it's time to include yourself in that circle of care. So take a deep breath, speak your truth gently. Remember, you're not being difficult, you're being authentic. Start with one small no today. It's the first step toward peace. If this message spoke to your heart, subscribe for our weekly talks on building stronger family connections. Together we'll explore how to communicate, connect, and create peace in every season of life.